Libertalia, The End of an Era, launches today. And we're very excited to have Mel speaking to me, Mel, to tell you all about the book and what you can expect. So, tell us, where do the team find themselves in this Libertalia, The End of an Era? Mel, thank you very much for having me here today. It's great and super exciting to be launching the third book in the Libertalia series, Libertalia, The End of an Era. And what we find in this book, which is quite different to the others, is that the book is almost slightly polarized between, we've got William still in Nosy Be in Madagascar, a beautiful island, and then we've got Isla and Karabo in Dayton College in the Eastern Cape, that's their high school, and then we've got Mzi in UCT in Cape Town. And so the book mostly tends to kind of move between Karabo and Isla doing their matric year in Dayton College, and then between William and what is happening in his world, which is really, being put under the thumb of his quite evil father in Nosy Be, Madagascar. And so, it's those two kind of very different scenes that are played throughout most of the book, and then obviously it all kind of comes together at the end. So great, thanks very much. There seems to also be a shift in Isla and Karabo's relationship. Can you tell us why you went there? Well, I couldn't resist. So Isla and Karabo have been friends since they got to high school, and a solid friendship, I feel, sometimes needs to be pushed a little bit in order to see if that friendship can handle a little bit of a crack. And I really wanted to explore kind of putting the girls under a little bit of pressure to see if their friendship could kind of really draw through. And I really think that, friendship, there's a lot of love and there's sometimes a little bit of hate, but friendships evolve. And I wanted their friendship not to be just kind of like a bestie friendship, but a really strong friendship. And so I put them under pressure in the sense that they're doing matric. Karabo's going through her stuff as a young, growing Sangoma. You've got Isla, who's still infatuated with Mzi, even though he's far away in Cape Town. And there are all these pressures, along with Karabo knowing what's happening with William in Madagascar and Isla not. So there's an element of keeping secrets from each other. So there's a lot of stress in that relationship, as well as kind of, oh gosh, we're in matric, what are we going to do next year with our lives? So it's quite an interesting one, and I think the girls, without adding a spoiler, fare pretty well, and their friendship is as strong as we think it is. Well, yes, we can absolutely say that. Hey, friendships are a tricky one. So William grows as a character. Tell us about that. Well, I think if anybody knows me, they know that I've got a desperately soft spot for my goody badass kind of character, William. And basically what we see with William, who in previous books has been, like a little bit lost and not really knowing what to do with his life or with himself. He evolved in the second book, but he was still a little bit lost. And in this book, he really knows what he wants to do. He wants to take down his father's empire. He doesn't really know how in the beginning. That comes a little bit later. But we see that he has got a mission. He wants to do the right thing. He wants to help find the Matabele treasure. And he really wants to prove to his friends that he is the guy that they know he is. And I loved watching him evolve and really come out, quite a shining star. His personality hasn't changed. He's still, edgy and, cocky, but he is still, we really see how he evolves, and it's nice. It's really great. That sounds really interesting. So what stands out about this book as compared to books 1 and 2? Okay, so I think the difference between the books, and I'm going to kind of show them to you now as well, is that in this book we've got that kind of split area. So we've got Madagascar and then Dayton College in the Eastern Cape, whereas in books 1 and 2, the kids in books 1, they are very much at Dayton College, and then they go to Zimbabwe. And in book 2, they're very much together at Dayton College, and then they go to Madagascar, kind of as the adventure elements. Whereas in this book, from the outset, we've got Madagascar and Dayton College, and a little bit of Joburg as well, because Karabo's mother lives in Sandton. So, it's quite different in terms of setting. Also, we've got the girls on their own at the school doing matric, whereas William, and Mzi were actually in the school with them before, and now we've got William in Madagascar and Mzi in Cape Town. So there's a lot of differences. Also, the other things just to note between the different books, I'm just going to hold up the different covers. That's the first one, that's Libertalia Lost Fortunes, that's Quest for Land, and that is End of an Era. So you can see, although the characters are in similar outfits, there's always something different happening on the covers in terms of how they're standing. And then I almost want to kind of say there's two elements in each of these that are quite distinctively different. Something about Isla, and then something about a special element that is added to the cover of each book. And I kind of challenge my young readers to tell me what those exactly are. So I'll just put that out there. The other thing about the book that I have enjoyed was also, adding questions at the back, so that kids in book clubs or kids, or teachers who want to kind of engage the children and get them to do questions on the book, that's available for children. There is also a quick guide to cryptocurrency. So I haven't mentioned that, but in the book, there is a part, and it's got to do with William. He is actually really smart, and it's about cryptocurrency. And so that's just a quick guide. Might be for the parents too, but for the kids mostly. And as usual, there are my amazing illustrator. She has also included, we've got 3 images per book. So that is just one of the images of the book that is inside. And each of the books have questions, they've got images, and so I'm really, really happy with how that book's come out. Well, thank you so much, Mel, for chatting to us today, and we really hope that all those readers out there will go and grab a copy, or at least maybe one of each of the books 1, 2, and 3, at their local bookstore, on Amazon or on Loot. Thank you so much for having me.